Welcome to the Switch Style Podcast, where we encourage you to think beyond what you hear. I'm your host, Smooth, and joining me tonight, as always, are Vaughn and Riggs. What up, Vaughn?
What up? How are you?
I'm great. Glad to see you. I hadn't seen you guys in a few weeks.
I know, like the old people say, a month and a Sunday.
Yeah, a month and a Sunday. Riggs, what's going on, man?
Man, ain't nothing. Just trying to stay up.
Just trying to stay up. I ain't mad at you, man.
All the way up.
All right.
All the way up.
Can't nobody stop.
Speaking of all the way up, we'll actually talk about that later on in the show.
All right.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. So, audience, welcome back to the Switch Style Podcast. This is actually episode 43. And tonight we're actually presenting to everyone our 2017 Grammy preview. So we'll actually talk about the Grammys. We'll update the charts for you. And we got some fun facts for you along the way, some fun Grammy facts. So it'll actually be a fun-filled show, and we expect to teach you a lot. So if you don't know, some of you, and I apologize, some of you out there might know already, but if you don't know, we'll tell you a little bit. So just hang in there. But you guys got anything?
No. Happy New Year. All that good stuff.
Happy New Year. This is our first show of the new year?
Yes, first show in the new year.
Yeah.
Our collective first show of the new year.
Yeah, happy 2017.
Yes.
Smooth has been holding it down.
Yes.
So, but glad to see everybody.
Man, it's good to be back.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, this is going to be a really fun year. But I'm glad to be out of 2016. 2016 was pretty rough for me.
I was thinking that on the way here, I swear. I'm not just jumping on the bandwagon. Like, you know, I was driving. I was at a stoplight, and I was like, man, 2016. I was thinking, you know, our first show together for 2017. And I was like, man, 2016 was kind of rough for everybody.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what it was, but it was.
Let's make 2017 better.
Of course. Audience, before we jump into anything, if you out there listening, go subscribe to the podcast.
That's right.
You can find us on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, and guess what? We're now on YouTube. Not all 42 shows yet, but we have about 4 shows on YouTube, and the rest are coming. So, audience, go check us out on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And you can check them all out. All you got to type in is Switch Style Podcast. And you can find us again on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Google me, Trick.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah. Vaughn, he wasn't talking to you, was?
Nah.
He on something else.
He on something else?
That was in the error.
He got a head cold on. That cold getting to his head.
I do.
Taking too many drugs.
It's that scissor.
That scissor. Yeah, it's a lot of people out there sipping some scissor.
That's for sure, yeah.
Yes, a lot of scissor being sipped. But guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. We got a lot to cover. So let's go ahead and update the charts. So on the Billboard 200, The Weeknd earns a 4th week at number 1 with Starboy, earning 61,000 units. 13,000 of those were in traditional album sales. And at number 2, the XX, it's an alternative group. They debut with their latest I See You, earning 46,000 units, 36,000 in traditional album sales. Any thoughts on the Billboard 200?
I'm not surprised.
Riggs, what about you? You good?
I'm good.
Just one thing to point out. The Weeknd, he debuted at number 1, but he actually sold a lot less albums than the XX did. They sold 36,000 traditional album sales, and he only sold 13,000. So that's 23,000 less. So just an indication that streaming, well, for the first time last year, streaming was the number 1 music sales were driven by streaming last year. That's the way that people actually consume music these days. So
the main way our music has been distributed to the customers.
Right. Yep. It's the way people consume music. So just something to think about. And from here on out, I expect streaming to be a big part of everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a part of TV. I stream.
Yeah, you stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just something to think about. But on the Hot 100, Migos and Lil Uzi Vert, they returned to the top spot for a second week with Bad and Bougie. You guys like Bad and Bougie?
That's one of those songs where I kind of feel a little bit ashamed, but I like it. It's a hot song. I like it.
You like it better than Black Beatles?
Yeah. That's not hard to do.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually dethroned the Black Beatles. They were 1 and 2 at the same time, and right before the Golden Globes the week before, they took off and Donald Glover, it's the Childish Gambino himself. He got on stage and shouted out the Migos, and here they are now.
Right. That's all you got to do. Get one good shout out.
Yep. And also shout out to Metro Boomin. He's the producer. He's based out right here out of Atlanta. I think he's from St. Louis, but it's his first #1 record as well. So congrats, Metro Boomin, Migos, and Lil Uzi Vert. Second week at #1. And in other Migos news, their second proper album, Culture, will be out this Friday, January 27th. So look out for that. And also this week, I think we also have Kalani. Her new album is coming out. And Belle Biv DeVoe. Yeah.
That's one of those ones, man. I just don't know.
Just don't know, yeah.
I hope. Everybody hopes. I hope.
Right.
Because the Poison album is classic.
Classic.
Remix album too. So we hope.
Yeah, we hope. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we might talk about it next week. Just depends. I know John Mayer put out some stuff too, so we'll have to make a decision.
Man, one of the best lyricists I think ever.
And it's funny. I want to talk about his project, but he's only putting it out. He only puts out 4 tracks at a time. He's gonna put it out until it's completed. So it's kind of like that Life of Pablo rollout. It's kind of weird, but we'll see.
Probably keeps attention though.
Yeah, it does. But we'll check it out. But audience, that's your chart update. But before we move on to the next thing, if you like what you hear, please go and subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, and now YouTube. All at Switch Style Podcast. And also check us out on Facebook,
Instagram,
and
Twitter.
All right, here we go. So we're actually, audience, if you don't know, the Grammys, they're the absolute highest of all musical achievements. It's the biggest award that you can receive if you're a musician of any type, of songwriter. Even if you're a comedian, you can win a Grammy. So they give out Grammys for a lot of things. But if you don't know anything about the Grammys, we'll actually give you a quick update or just tell you a little bit about it before we get started. So this year will be the 59th annual Grammy Awards ceremony, which will be held February 12th of this year, 2017, at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. So to be nominated for this year's awards, all recordings had to be released between October 1st of 2015 and September 30th of 2016. So if you ever wondered, the selection process begins with Academy members and record companies submitting entries, which are then screened for eligibility, category placement, and go through several rounds of voting. And the governing body of the Grammys, they're actually known as the Recording Academy, and it's made up entirely of all musicians, producers, songwriters. There's no media, no fans, so the people that are actually voting and selecting these records to go on and win Grammys, they're actually their peers. These are the people that's actually making the record. So it's probably the highest of all awards because your peers are actually giving it to you. Right. They're voting for you. And last but not least, just want to let you guys know the Recording Academy, they have chapters in Atlanta, Chicago, Florida, Los Angeles, Memphis, Nashville, New York, the Pacific West, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Texas, and Washington, D.C. And we'll tell you how that plays into everything later on. And overall, there are 84 total Grammy categories. I know when you watch the Grammys, you only see them present maybe, I think it's about 30% of the awards.
And then at the end, you got to look and see all the ones that didn't get there, scroll it across the TV.
Yeah, because they present most of them in a telecast prior to the actual award show airs. So here we go. Let's go ahead and jump into it. And audience, just to let you know, like I said before, there's 84 categories, and we're not going to talk about all 84.
No, by no means.
Right, because that would take, we would probably
not
need
enough time.
Right, about 4 or 5 shows to talk about all those. So we narrowed it down to the general categories, which are the top 4, the album of the year, song of the year, record of the year, best new artist, and we're going to talk about the pop categories, the R&B categories, and the hip-hop categories. So those are most of the records that we listen to throughout the year. There are country, rock, reggae, gospel, a lot of categories, but we didn't listen to most of those records. So for lack of a better word or phrase, we're going to stick to what we know.
Appreciate that.
So that's why we chose these 16 categories. And the first category that we're actually going to talk about is Best Pop Solo Performance. And in that category, you have 5 nominees. The first is Hello by Adele, Hold Up by Beyonce, Love Yourself by Justin Bieber, Piece by Piece by Kelly Clarkson, and Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande. Riggs, I'll start with you first. Who do you think will win, or who do you want to win?
Who I think will win is probably Adele.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
I agree
she's
too.
just a juggernaut. You know, just not in the U.S., I mean worldwide. She's got a feel that, you know, everybody is drawn to, every genre, so I think Adele will win it.
Yeah, she probably will. Vaughn, what about you?
I think she'll win it. Who I want to win it is my girl B.
B.
Yeah, but I think Adele's gonna win it.
And it'll be a clean sweep. I think Adele will win it because the record came out. It hit number 1 on the Hot 100, and it was people. She had been gone, but it was probably about 3 years. So the buildup was there, and when it came out, it just pretty much exploded. I don't think it's the best record on the list. If I had to choose one, me personally, well, Kelly Clarkson, the Piece by Piece record, I'm immediately scratching that out. And I think Love Yourself by Justin Bieber and Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande
should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that. I definitely like to Love Yourself. It I actually, when I first heard it, I had no idea that was Justin Bieber. You know, so to see him evolve a bit, and then it's one of those songs that it's not, well, definitely isn't overproduced because it's mostly just him and the guitar.
Exactly.
And it's just got a vibe that you just like.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely, I do think, you know, Adele will win. I'm not mad that B's not going to win because she's nominated so many times.
She is.
She's going to get a few.
Yeah, I forget. I think she leads the pack with 9 total nominations. And so we're all in agreement that Adele is most likely going to win. It's not who I want to win, but she's probably going to win. So we'll move on to our first fun Grammy fact of the night. And I'll go ahead and take this one. So, audience, if you were interested in who has the most Grammys ever, and a lot of people hadn't heard of this guy, but a classical conductor named George Solti holds the record for the most Grammy Awards with 31. And we'll tell you who's actually right underneath him later on in the show.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Riggs are very fond of the guy that's right underneath him. So we'll actually move on to Best Pop Duo Group Performance. So the nominees are Closer by the Chainsmokers and Halsey, 7 Years by Lucas Graham, Work by Rihanna and Drake, Cheap Thrills by Sia and Sean Paul, and the last nominee is Stressed Out by 21 Pilots. Well, I'll go first on this one. Me personally, 2 of the songs in this category, Closer, we talked about that for literally 12 weeks. 12 weeks straight. The song was number 1.
Like we talked about it all year.
Yeah, right. 12 weeks straight. And Work, Rihanna and Drake set up on the top of the Hot 100 for 8 weeks. So that's a combined 20 weeks for 2 of those songs. 7 Years by Lucas Graham went number 2 on the Hot 100, which I think is the best song actually in the category. Cheap Thrills by Sia and Sean Paul was another number 1. And Stressed Out by 21 Pilots. A lot of people didn't hear this record. Well, a lot of people did. Right behind 7 Years is probably the next best record on the list. So for me, my pick is, honestly, I think Rihanna and Drake will probably win the category. But I think 7 Years by Lucas Graham should win. That's my pick. Vaughn, what about you?
Of course I want Rihanna and Drake, but I think Closer. Now, I just heard 7 Years. That's a female?
No, it's a guy.
Oh, I thought you said her. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's a guy.
Okay. I thought so. When I heard it, I was going to say I thought it was how he was singing. But that's a nice song.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a really great song.
So I'm going to say Work, Closer, 7 Years.
In that order?
Yeah.
Okay. So I called you Rihanna. So Vaughn's money is on Rihanna. I'm taking Lucas Graham. And so Riggs, what you got?
You know, I hate going second if agree all the way. Because I actually agree with your pick all the way.
Oh, Lucas Graham.
The order and everything, yeah. I like the Drake and Rihanna joint. The Lucas Graham song is deeper, and I think it kind of broader, touches more people. It's a more powerful song.
And it's an amazing story because he opens up. Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, you better go get some friends or you'll be lonely. And he works his way all the way up till he's in his 60s and has grandkids. And for me, outside of Stressed Out, well, the two biggest songs on the list, Closer and Work, for me, they had no lyrical substance. And be honest, no disrespect to Rihanna, Drake, Chainsmokers, Andrew Taggart, but Halsey, but they're not the greatest vocalists. Just
that's
being
not disrespectful. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Just being honest, they're not the greatest vocal. I won't say anyone on this list is just a blow you away singer, but I think the combined lack of substance and vocal quality or vocal ability, I can't give those records. I can't give the award to them. That's just me if I'm voting.
I feel the same way.
But I think Work is 7 years should win because a lot of times in the past, what kind of gives you a clue as to who's going to win is if they're nominated in the bigger categories. Because 7 years is nominated for Song and Record of the Year. So I expect 7 years to win.
Yeah, I think so. And Work, it is a good song, but I don't think it touches 7 years.
So we'll actually move on to Fun Grammy fact number 2, which is being brought to you by the lovely, talented Vaughn.
Among females, Alison Krauss holds the record for the most Grammys with 27.
Wow. There you go, ladies. Alison Krauss has 27 Grammys, and she's actually tied with a guy named Quincy Jones. So, audience, if you heard of him.
Who don't know who?
Yeah, if you don't know Quincy Jones, I don't know what to tell you. So,
what's his nickname?
Q.
Cute.
Yeah. So, they'll probably, she's still making music, but Quincy, he's living life, spending his money. So, can't be mad at him. All right, so let's actually jump into the R&B categories. And first up is Best R&B Performance. And the nominees are Turning Me Up, BJ the Chicago Kid, Permission by Ro James, I Do by Musiq Soulchild, Needed Me by Rihanna, and Cranes in the Sky by Solange.
Woo!
So Vaughn, sounds like you're excited. What's your pick?
Woo! I think Solange gonna get it.
I agree. I think it's by far the best song on the list.
Yeah.
I won't say by far, but I think it clearly stands out among the rest. Briggs, what about you?
Yeah, I say so. And that's not my favorite song on the list. But I do think she'll take it. When she came out, and that was her first #1 album, and it took everybody by surprise. And she just came out doing her own thing. Everything is real. I want to say they're deep, I guess, and artful. So I think she'll get it. Now, I do like that.
Turning Me Up.
Turning Me Up. That's, especially me being a jazz dude.
Yeah,
that's a bad song.
Yeah, it's a jam. And the funny thing is, the biggest record on this list is "Needed Me" by Rihanna. And Rihanna, she not only does she have great singles, she has great albums.
Yeah, and
vocally,
it's tight.
Yeah, Anti is a really good album, and it's funny because Anti actually wasn't nominated for. Well, it wasn't nominated in the R&B categories. The album itself.
I don't know. It's a good song. It's just a mean song.
Yeah.
It turns me off. Just me personally.
Yeah, I can understand why. And it's funny. Rihanna is also the only Grammy winner in the category. I don't have her count in front of me.
I would say that she does have a good chance of winning this one, even though
she does.
I prefer the Solange to that track, Needed Me. But being that it is a very popular, got a lot of airplay, and there is something to it. You know what I mean? So there is a good chance. I think it's definitely between those two.
Right.
And the Musiq Soulchild song, actually, I'm not even sure why it's there.
Yeah,
I do.
it wasn't a bad song, but it
wasn't strong like that to me to be nominated. Honestly,
right. Yeah, I agree. There were probably I wrote some suggestions down, but I think there were a lot of other songs out there that definitely could have been nominated. So I agree with you.
I mean, this is a good list.
Yeah,
It's a very good category. Got some good people in.
Oh, and your permission.
Yeah.
Ooh, Bro James.
Yeah. I'm still listening
Yeah,
to his
that's-
whole album. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Boy, that is a bad song. Good airplay. It's got a stupid vibe to it.
yeah.
And he sings it well, and his falsetto, and that's a tight song.
Yeah, this is really a tough category. I think Cranes in the Skies is gonna win it, but if Needed Me or Permission, and I think and the Turning Me Up, BJ the Chicago Kid, that's in terms of production.
Oh yeah,
It's probably the best record on the list,
I think so.
but it just doesn't have the profile that really any of the other songs do. Like I really didn't hear Turning Me Up on the radio.
I did limited, like here and there, but the other song like the Rihanna, that was always on the radio.
Yeah, always. And audience, just to give you an idea, Rihanna is nominated for 8 Grammys this year. So she has her chances of winning. Rihanna's gonna win something, and it could very well be this category.
Yeah.
I really want to see Solange win this thing, but you just never know.
You never know. But I like my Riri though.
You like Ruby? Mm-hmm. So I'm going Cranes in the Sky. Vaughn, you going?
Cranes in the Sky.
And Riggs?
I don't know. It's tossed up between the two, but I just go ahead and say.
Go ahead, say.
I'm gonna say Riri.
Go ahead.
Not that that's why I want to win, but I think that's who's gonna win.
Right. And I agree. She like I said, she got to win something, and this could be one of those categories.
But I would love for Solange to win because her album is she put out a good album. She put out a really good album. So I mean, hey.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the best R&B albums this year.
Yeah, I agree. And unfortunately, she missed the deadline because the deadline was October 30th, and her album came out. The deadline, yeah, it was September 30th, and her album came out a couple weeks after that. So she just missed it. So it's unfortunate, but she'll be nominated in 2018.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah, she should be. So let's actually move on to Fun Grammy Fact number 3, and brought to you by the man himself, Riggs.
Stevie Wonder has won at least 4 Grammys in 3 separate nights.
Yeah, Stevie's won 4 Grammys on 3 separate occasions. And audience, if you're interested, he won 4 Grammys in 1973, and one of those included, he won Album of the Year each of those years. He won in 73, he won Album of the Year for Intervisions. 74, he won 4 Grammys also. He won Album of the Year for Fulfilling This First Finale. And in 1976, he won Album of the Year for
Songs in the Key of Life.
There you go.
That's his biggest album ever.
I'm just sitting here thinking like, how old was I?
One of the best albums ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stevie been around.
Yeah, so he had a really great run. So, and it's Stevie Wonder. And Stevie has quite a few Grammys himself.
And the crazy part about it is, I think before all of these albums, he already had a greatest hits album.
Yeah, he did. They just took his Motown stuff just from, he was still on Motown, but
right.
A lot of the kid stuff, he was well into his 20s when all these records came out. So that's for Stevie. And yeah, we hadn't talked about Stevie in a while, but yeah, LaWanna or whoever's listening that loves Stevie Wonder, sound like knocking at the door. Stevie know we talking about him. So we'll actually move on to the next category, which is Best Traditional R&B Performance. Now, this is, in my opinion, probably the toughest category of the ones we've talked about so far, and probably the ones that we'll talk about tonight. And the nominees are The Three of Me by William Bell. And audience, if you don't know William Bell, he's the oldest person we'll talk about tonight outside of Stevie Wonder. He's 76. He'll be 77 this year. He's an R&B legend. He's from Memphis, Tennessee. He started under the Stax label, and he still actually signed. He put out his last album under Stax as well, the newly reformed Stax label. And his biggest record was actually people mostly know him for "You Don't Miss Your Water." That was his biggest record, but he was a big architect of the stack sound. So just to keep it brief on William Bell, and also in the category Woman's World by BJ the Chicago Kid, Sleeping with the One I Love by Fantasia, Angel by Layla Hathaway, and Can't Wait by Jill Scott. So, Briggs, what you think?
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Jill Scott, she always comes through.
Yeah, she does.
With a good body of work. Layla Hathaway, I'm familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she redoes it, Anita Baker's song.
Angel, yeah.
And I like it. It's tight. A lot of people may be like, oh, she don't sound like Anita. She puts her own thing on it.
Yeah, she
I like it. BJ, the Chicago Kid, is just nice with it. He's a brilliant young artist. But this is kind of a hard one, like you say, to judge because, the other categories, everybody kind of knows who these people are. Everybody kind of knows the songs. Everybody kind of know. I don't think it's so widely known out there. The song I've actually heard the most is actually Layla Hathaway.
Angel, yeah.
Angel. And I guess by that alone, and she is a great singer. I'm gonna say Angel.
Okay. Well, let's break it down this way. So we have 3 Grammy winners in this category, 3 prior Grammy winners. Jill Scott, she's a 3-time Grammy winner. Layla Hathaway, this is a very interesting stat. She has won this category the previous 2 years. She won with the cover of her dad's song, Little Ghetto Boy. And what was that, 15? She won for Jesus Children with Robert Glasper and Malcolm Jamal Warner last year, and now she's nominated this year. So I think Layla, like you said, Layla has the inside track simply because she's won the category 2 years in a row and could be a third. She has a great chance of winning it again. Fantasia, who's a Grammy winner herself for Bittersweet in 2010. Sleeping with the One I Love, and we talked about that. We talked about her album, The Definition Of.
I like her album. The song was well thought out. It was theatrical and stuff like that, but it isn't actually a song that I really want to sit down and listen to.
Right. I agree. And Woman's World, really great song. It's very reminiscent of, people like to copy James Brown's It's a Man's World, and it kind of takes cues from that. So with all that said, Vaughn, I'll go to you. Who do you think? Who are you rooting for?
Jilly from Philly.
Jilly from Philly.
That's my girl.
Yeah.
And see, I stick to what I know and what I like.
Okay.
I like what Rick's saying. What I like Jill. I like Layla. Sleeping with the One I Love, it's okay. It shows Fantasia's range of, A Woman's World, yeah. The Three of Me, okay. But I think it's between Layla and Jill.
Layla and Jill? Okay. And it's funny, in audience, we told you about where the chapters are earlier. And William Bell, with him being from Memphis, and there is a chapter in Memphis, he probably got a lot of votes, because normally I didn't expect William Bell to show up as a Grammy nominee at all. He was probably the least unexpected out of everybody in the R&B categories. This is a really great record, and if you hadn't heard it, go check it out. But everybody in this category can sing, but just to keep it simple, I love Jill Scott. If she walked in here right now and said, let's go get married, I would say yes.
I know, that's my girl.
That's how much I love Jill Scott. But she's married now, so she's taken.
She's married now.
And Can't Wait is good, but that Layla Hathaway, she is just, her voice is, everybody on this list has a very special voice. But Layla Hathaway's voice is just so comfortable. I just want to, you feel like you could just lay in her voice.
Right.
It's just so, I won't say it's indescribable, but it's so warm and so soft and,
soothing.
Yeah, very
warm
soothing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
it warms your heart.
And her rendition.
Your heart.
Her rendition of Angel is, in my opinion, is just as good as Anita Baker's.
I think so.
Have you heard the live one?
That's the one, right?
That's the one. The live one.
That's the one.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, that's the one. I love that one.
The funny part about it, though,
I really don't like the radio.
More of a jazz artist.
Yes,
yeah.
So I'm going with Layla. I'm going for Layla and the three-peat. I know me and Riggs, we went Layla, and Vaughn with Jill, who I definitely want to win. But we'll actually move on. We'll jump to fun fact number 4. So the first gospel Grammy was awarded to Mahalia Jackson for Every Time I Feel the Spirit in 1961.
Woo.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. I wasn't even thought about.
Sure wasn't. Vaughn wasn't even here. Riggs wasn't here.
Nope.
I wasn't here.
Not a twinkle in my daddy's eye.
Yeah. So congratulations to Mahalia Jackson. She won the first gospel Grammy. So audience, if you didn't know that, all you gospel fans out there,
That's what's up.
there you go. So we'll actually move on to the next category, which is Best R&B Song. And the nominees are Come and See Me by Party Next Door featuring Drake. And audience, just to let you know, the Song Awards, the categories that have song attached to the end of them, they actually award the songwriters themselves. So Jerron Brothright, I hope I said his name right, that's actually Party Next Door. Aubrey Graham, and I'm sure everybody knows him, that's Drake. Drake is nominated in this category. And Noah Shabib, which is Drake's longtime producer who goes by 40. So those are the nominees. Exchange is the next record. Michael Hernandez and Bryson Tiller. This record was sung by Bryson Tiller. Kiss It Better, which is Rihanna's song, but was written by Jeff Basker, which we talked about. He made his name under Kanye, and he produced a lot of things on Bruno Mars' last album, 24 Karat Magic. Robin Fitty, that's Rihanna's real name, if you don't know her, or if you didn't know. John Nathan Glass, I'm not familiar with that name, and Teddy Sinclair are the other songwriters on Kiss It Better. And Lake by the Ocean, written by Hod David and Muse, who's also known as Maxwell. This is Maxwell's song, who's a 2-time Grammy winner. And Love by Tory Lanez, which was written by Magnus August Hoiberg, Benjamin Levin, and Daystar Peterson. So, Vaughn, I'll go to you first.
Oh, that's cool.
Who are you picking?
I'm going to pick, I like Exchange, Bryson Tiller, Kiss It Better, and Lake by the Ocean. So,
Okay.
And I'm not a big Maxwell fan, but them 3,
Those 3?
I would like to see.
And out of, if you had to pick one.
Rihanna.
Yeah, and she's nominated for 8 Grammys, so she's going to win something. This could be another, and I'll go next. I'm gonna be honest, I hate this category.
You hate it.
Yeah, honestly, I just think the Recording Academy, they got it right on the first 2 R&B categories. It wasn't completely right, but they did a pretty good job considering what they did nominate for Best R&B Performance and Best Traditional R&B Performance. But Best R&B Song, Cranes in the Sky should be nominated here.
Yeah,
I feel.
that's true.
I'm surprised that Beyonce doesn't have a record nominated in this category. That's
something from Lemonade.
Right. That was very shocking, but I guess this year they considered her more of a pop artist. But the records in this category aren't bad, but none of them, with the exception of maybe Lake by the Ocean, are really great songs, in my opinion. I think, no disrespect to any of the artists, but I'm not a fan. But if I got to pick somebody, I'll take Lake by the Ocean, Maxwell. Riggs, what about you?
Lake by the Ocean.
All right, well, me and Riggs going like Lake by the Ocean, and Vaughn went Kiss It Better by Rihanna. So we'll actually move on to fun Grammy fact number 5, which is being brought to you by Vaughn.
As of now, Jay-Z and Kanye West are tied for the most rap Grammy wins with 21 apiece.
Wow, that's impressive. There you go, audience. Another good stat for you. And Kanye is nominated for several awards this year.
Hopefully he'll have himself together.
Yeah, we hope so. But I don't expect him to show up at the awards.
Oh, okay.
Hope not. He's probably doing himself and everybody else a favor by not showing up. But as soon as I find it, we'll come back to it. But we'll actually move on to
the best rap performance.
Yeah, best rap performance. So in this category, the nominees are No Problem by Chance the Rapper, Lil Wayne, and 2 Chainz. Panda by Designer. Pop Style by Drake and The Throne, which consists of Jay-Z and Kanye West. All the Way Up by Fat Joe and Remy Ma, featuring French Montana and Infrared. And That Part by Schoolboy Q and Kanye West. Kanye is nominated twice in this category. So Riggs, who you got?
This one I think is actually pretty good. the way this one is set up. Me being from up top, of course, it's gonna be all the way up.
There you go.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all
the way up.
There you go.
But also the Panda song was hot.
Yeah, it was.
I wasn't feeling it the first couple of times I heard it, and then I guess I heard it at a certain level, and I was in a certain mood, and boy, it just took me over. And boy, that song has some energy. We spoke a lot about Chance the Rapper.
Yes, we did.
And that song is amazing. The video is dope. I mean, it's real. It's a fun song. The Schoolboy Q joint. To hear it, it's okay, but then when you actually see the video and hear it, and when you see like kind of the art with it, and it definitely grows on you. And I like Kanye's part is he's got his flow on there is real tight, and so is Schoolboy Q's actually. So everything is pretty good, but I'm going with all the way up.
Vaughn, what about you?
All the way up.
This is probably gonna be a clean sweep, and Riggs kind of narrowed everything down. Pop style and that part, I think we can throw those two out. Yeah, the energy on those records, they were more mid-tempo records. And when I think about best rap performance, if I'm sitting there at a concert, I definitely don't want to see those two be performed. But if Panda comes on, now the lyrical content sucked. I mean, there was no lyrical content at all. But the track, and we didn't know what he was saying, but he performed it. I mean, his flow, it was a mumble flow, but he did it. And No Problem had a lot of energy. Chance, Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz.
And that one got some lyrics in it.
Yeah, it does.
That would be my second choice.
It does. And All the Way Up. I mean, to me, I thought that was the hottest record all year.
And I think everybody wanted to see Remy and,
right.
was anticipating her, what she was going to do, and she bought it.
And the funny thing with Drake, I don't know why they picked that song in particular, because he's got other hotter songs. But hey,
I guess it's the one he more so rapped on, because One Dance and Too Good, he sort of sung on those, so he actually rapped on that one. But I'm not crazy about Views as a whole, to be honest. And honestly, All the Way Up should win, but I think they're gonna give it to Chance. I think No Problem is gonna win the Grammy.
Personally, I can't be mad at that, especially the way he came into the game. And that's a lot of what that song is talking about.
Right.
Is coming without a label. So he'll be making history. And I like All the Way Up, but this will be good for him to win.
And Chance is nominated for 7 awards, and he's gonna win at least two of these awards. So, and this could be one, but No Problem is also nominated in another category we'll talk about in a second. But I want to see All the Way Up win, but I think it's going to be No Problem.
No Problem. That's what I was saying. My second. Yeah.
So we'll actually move on to fun Grammy fact number 6, which is being brought to you by Riggs.
Number 6. The Marley family has won a total of 13 Grammys. The wins were awarded to Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers, Damian Marley, Stephen Marley, and Ziggy as a solo artist.
And it's funny, audience, if you didn't know, Bob Marley, while he was alive, did not win a Grammy. But since he's been awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award, and I think some of his songs are in the Grammy Hall of Fame, so that's something.
Why must we die to be recognized?
Well, we'll talk about that next week. There were a lot of artists that didn't win Grammys that you would be shocked. You'd be like, really? Why didn't they win one? And back then, a lot of the award shows, they weren't as expansive as they are now. Right. So everybody can get awards now.
True.
And we'll actually move on to the next category, which is Best Rap Song Performance. And the nominees are Freedom by Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar, Hotline Bling by Drake, Broccoli by Drum and Lil Yachty, Ultralight Beam by Kanye West, Chance the Rapper, Kelly Price, Kirk Franklin, and The Dream, and Famous by Kanye West and Rihanna. So, Vaughn, what you think?
I like a lot of these songs, but hopefully everyone, when they say song performance, where are they saying this performance from? Are they saying the performance from, what was that, awards show they was on?
It's the combination of the best rap and song, the rap and singing.
I would say Freedom.
Yeah, it's a good one. And she nominated for 9 awards, so she gonna have to win something.
I would say Freedom.
Say Freedom.
But I like all these songs. Yeah, I would say Freedom.
Riggs, what about you?
Super Light Beam.
Yes. Yeah, that Ultralight Beam.
Ultralight Beam. My bad. I said Super. Ultralight Beam. Yeah, I would say that song. That's a powerful song right there.
Yeah, if Kanye doesn't win anything else on February 12th, he has to win this award because Ultralight Beam is absolutely amazing. I mean, and it's funny because that was probably Chance's best verse of the year. That might have been.
I'm trying to think of that song.
Well, it wasn't a single. It was the first song from his album.
Okay.
But honestly, I thought it was the best thing on The Life of Pablo.
I would agree.
Yeah, and I want to see Kirk Franklin. I think Kirk Franklin has won about 10 Grammys himself, but and The Dream is a Grammy winner himself. So, I mean, there's a lot of star power on this one track. Kanye, 21 Grammys himself. Kelly Price is the only one that doesn't have a Grammy in that group, and I want to see her win one. And Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar, that's a lot of star power. Kendrick has, I want to say, probably about 7 himself. Beyonce has 20 Grammys. Hotline Bling, it's not on the level of most of these records. And Famous, considering the content of it, I don't think they're gonna let that happen. I'm not even sure why they nominated. It was a big song, but considering he called arguably the biggest pop star in the world a B, I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that one is gonna win. So it's between Ultralight Beam and Freedom, and I'm going Ultralight Beam. But that Freedom is good. And not just a song, but Freedom in general is good.
It is, right?
Yeah, Freedom is good. So
I think he's rubbed so many people the wrong way, he might not get it. But
yeah, that's the only thing. But that Ultralight Beam, they cannot deny him on that one. I would probably be hurt if he didn't win that one. But good thing is he's nominated in another category. If he doesn't get that one, he can get it on the next one we'll talk about. So Ultralight Beam, and Freedom. And since he's nominated for that, I'll give it to Freedom. But he has to win this next one, which we'll talk about in a second.
Okay.
So, and our next fun Grammy fact is actually being brought to you by Vaughn again.
The first Rap Grammy was awarded to DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince in 1988 for Parents Just Don't Understand.
Wow. Ain't that something?
I remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I still remember seeing them when they won that Grammy.
Yeah. Will Smith won the first Grammy Award.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's a travesty and a shame.
Oh.
Because a lot of good stuff came out that year.
Yeah.
I mean, on their own album, the only real hip hop song was Brand New Funk.
Yeah.
And that was dope.
Yeah, very. Very.
But Parents Don't Understand, I mean, I get it. You know, it was a fun song. It was safe.
Mm-hmm. And it was still
That's
new.
That's a good word, safe.
Mm-hmm.
It was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, we talked about the Recording Academy earlier and how the peers vote on it, because to actually vote in the category, you have to be considered an expert of that genre to vote in the category. So I think at the time there probably weren't a lot of rappers in the Recording Academy, which probably led to that win. So, and that's just speculation on my part, but we'll actually move on to our last category that we're talking about tonight, and that's actually Best Rap Song. And there's a lot of nominees in this category. So, and the nominees are All the Way Up, which was by Fat Joe, Remy Ma, French Montana, and Infrared. I'll spare all the writers. There's about 7 writers on this song. The next one is Famous by Kanye West and Rihanna. And I do want to point out a few guys on this song, most notably Sadell Young, who's also known as Sci-Hi the Prince, out of Atlanta, East Side. So shout out Sci-Hi. I would love to see him win a Grammy. And Chancellor Bennett, a.k.a. Chance the Rapper. He was a co-writer on Famous as well. And Hotline Bling, Aubrey Graham and Paul Jeffries. And Aubrey Graham is known as Drake. No Problem by Chance the Rapper, Lil Wayne, and 2 Chainz. And 2 Chainz' name is Taheed Epps. So I would like to see 2 Chainz win something. I think this could be his year. And last but not least, Ultralight Beam. There's a lot of writers on this one, including Kanye West, Saha the Prince again. Chance the Rapper, Kasim Dean, which is Swiss Beats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys' husband.
Oh, he was on that. Okay.
Kirk Franklin, Terrius Nash, aka The Dream, Kelly Price, Nico Dundee Trumpet Siegel. He plays with Chance the Rapper. They produced a lot of Chance's record. So Riggs, I'll go to you first. Who you got?
Another tough one. Now, Ultralight Beam, again, powerful song, great song, All the Way Up, strong song. You know, it's not on the same vein, but it's like, okay, what are you looking for? Is it substance? Is it the flow? Is it the, you know what I mean? All those combined. This is actually, when it comes to rap, I think the toughest category right here. I think it's anybody's category. It's anybody's Grammy. But I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know.
Okay.
But I say Kanye's gonna get it.
Okay. And earlier I mentioned I think the award should be spread out. Like there's so many deserving records. Like I want to see All the Way Up win. I want to see No Problem win. And I think Ultralight Beam should win because I think, in my opinion, those are clearly the best. Probably 3 records out of all the categories. But if we had to split it up, I want to see All the Way Up win Best Rap Performance. Best Rap Song Performance could go to Ultralight Beam.
Right.
And since Chance he is nominated in this category, so Chance is gonna win regardless.
One of them, right?
Yeah, Chance is gonna win. And Best Rap Song that could go to No Problem or Ultralight Beam. Either way, Chance is gonna win.
Right. I do hope it, like you're saying, goes 3 ways.
Right.
With those 3 songs.
Right.
Each one in one.
Because Famous, we can take that one out. Hotline Bling, we can take that one out. But All the Way Up, No Problem, and Ultralight Beam, I think the awards should be split that way. Vaughn, what about you?
I would say I would go with the same thing that you're saying. Now I see why All the Way Up, yeah. For performance, yeah.
Right.
They got it, yeah.
Right.
But for rap song, I would probably go with No Problem, and I need to research Ultralight Beam. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I'll definitely play it for you.
Okay.
Ultralight Beam is amazing. But that's it. So me and Riggs, we know we want All the Way Up, Ultralight Beam, and No Problem to win the awards. It just depends on the way they fall. But honestly, I got a feeling somebody's going to get left out. It's unfortunate, but all 3 of those records deserve to win something.
I hope it isn't Chance.
No, I don't think it's going to be Chance.
Yeah.
I think if anybody gets left out, it might be Fat Joe and them. Fat Joe, Remy Ma.
Oh.
You said it right.
Right. French Montana, Infrared. I think if anybody gets left out, it might be them because that Ultralight Beam is just too good to deny. And honestly, Chance is, we'll talk about it in a week or two, but Chance is really my best new artist this year. So that's for another show. We'll talk about that. But I think we could do a real quick recap. So for best pop solo performance, we all pretty much agreed that Hello would win by Adele. Best pop duo or group performance, Riggs and I picked 7 Years, and Vaughn, you went Work, correct? By Rihanna and Drake. And for best R&B performance, was Cranes in the Sky a clean sweep?
Yes.
Or you went Turning Me Up?
I said that's the one I wanted to win, but I don't think it was gonna.
Okay, so Cranes in the Sky was a clean sweep.
Yeah.
And best traditional R&B performance, I know Vaughn went Jill Scott, Can't Wait. Riggs and I went
Layla.
Angel.
Miss
Yeah.
Layla.
Best R&B song, I said Lake by the Ocean. Riggs, Lake by the Ocean. And Vaughn, you went
Kiss It Better.
Kiss It Better by Rihanna. And best rap performance, I think we all wanted All the Way Up to win this one specifically. And best rap song performance, I know Vaughn went Freedom. I think Riggs and I both went Ultralight Beam on this one. And best rap song, I think No Problem. Was it No Problem? The consensus?
Yeah.
On that one? Okay.
Yep.
And that's it. And Riggs, give us our last fun Grammy fact.
Fun Grammy facts. Babyface won the Producer of the Year award for 3 consecutive years from 1995 to 1997.
There you go. You're a bad man.
He's a bad boy. He
That's
got that whip
impressive.
appeal.
Yeah.
That's
Got a
right.
whip appeal.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Babyface. But Audience, thank you for tuning in. We hope you learned something. And that's only 8 categories that we talked about, but we'll actually talk about 8 more the following weeks in the 2 weeks before the Grammys actually get here on the 12th. And we'll give you our album of the year picks. And who knows, Slick Money might actually decide to pop in on the show.
Let's hope.
Bless us with his presence.
Yeah, he said he in retirement. But guys, that's actually it. We ran out of time. You guys got any shout outs? Want to shout anybody out?
I would just like to shout out you guys. I miss you guys.
Yeah, miss you too.
Good to be back.
Of course.
And, hopefully everyone have a prosperous new year. Let's expand Switch Style Podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. What about you?
Same thing. Shout out my Switch Style Podcast. My buddy Jack Metropole, Uncle E, my partner Terry, Switch Style Podcast, Slick Money. And there you go.
Cool. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We sincerely appreciate it. Everybody who listened in 2016, and specifically everybody in Kansas City, the Netherlands, everybody in Dallas, New York, Los Angeles, South Africa, Australia, everybody. We appreciate it. New Zealand, we appreciate you listening. And we hope that you continue to stick with us because I think it's going to be a really fun year and we'll have a lot of great stuff to talk about. Thank you, Riggs and Vaughn. Appreciate you guys every week. Couldn't do it without you.
Couldn't do it without you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I just do what I can.
You are the driving force to this ship,
Voltron, and he'll form the head.
Well, we just do what we can. But thank you to you guys. And last but not least, I just want to dedicate this show to my cousin Melanie, who passed away this past Thursday. Miss Melanie Stewart. She was 44 years old. And Melanie, we miss you. And, unfortunately, I'll see you tomorrow in a different way. Yeah, the last time I saw her was June of last year in Tampa. So I want to dedicate this show to my cousin Melanie. But thank you again, everybody, for listening. And this was episode 43.
43.
And condolences and
yes.
And prayers and wishes to you, and good wishes, to your
safe
family.
Travels and all that good stuff to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Audience, thank you again. And this has been episode 43 of the Switch Style Podcast. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.